Hi friends, Simit here from InformedTrades.com. Today is February 28th, 2014. Time for our daily forex chart review. Basically, in this session, each morning I do it. Try to get started at around 8:15 a.m. New York time, which is about 1:15 p.m. GMT. Sometimes we run a few minutes late. And I share the trades I'm placing, my analysis of 20-some currency pairs in the forex market, looking at the daily chart. Through my method of trading and the actual trades I place, the adjustments I place, stops, limits, all that stuff. My method is swing trader with trends. So price action swing trader, basically. I look for trends. I look to buy the dips within uptrends, sell rallies within downtrends. That's sort of my approach. We have a whole bunch of information over on InformedTrades.com. If you're new to trading, definitely check that out. Join our community, participate. InformedTrades.com. Okay, let's get started with a look at the charts. And here we go. Just need to go here. Okay, just a second while they load. On the screen right now is a Bitcoin chart, which has gotten a lot of attention in the media lately. You can see it's a daily chart. There's a downward trend line. There is definitely looks like there could be a demand zone here. Buyers have definitely stepped in at around 522. It's kind of a big range here, between 380 and 522. That could be an interesting level to buy at. Personally, I may go long if we can. I'd really like to see a test all the way down here. If we can go down to 200, right above 200, and I'd like to see it. I'd like to see a base form. The ideal price action would be a basis forming right around here, and then we start to head upwards. Maybe if we're at 250 in May. That would be a great sign for me. I would love to potentially buy then. Anyway, I'm not in Bitcoin at the moment. I generally don't. I like to trade other currencies better. I think they're safer and less volatile, and I can use more leverage and control my risk exposure that way. In terms of trades I have on at the moment, I just have one, which is Aussie Yen. Let's get that chart up. Okay. So here is the Aussie Yen chart. I'm waiting to see if price can close below this dashed orange line. If it can, I'll move my stop to break even. So far, it has not. One of the things I'm also thinking about, in terms of constantly thinking about how to improve my trading approach. There's always little tweaks to be made. You don't want to overdo it. You want to think about each change to your trading plan carefully. But I am thinking about adding what's known as a time stop, which is basically, if after X amount of time my profit isn't hit, then close it out. Or making decisions, adjustments to positions based on time, not necessarily just price. I increasingly want to incorporate that. But in any event, the reason I mention that is I'm thinking, it's been a couple days since my order got filled, and I would like to move my stop to break even. However, from a price perspective, I would prefer for price to close below this dashed orange line before I move my stop to break even. My target profit's still here. So that's about it. That's the only trade I have on at the moment. I did have a Kiwi dollar trade on, but that got stopped out after I moved my stop to break even, so I didn't lose any money on it. And it rallied, so that's good. I entered here, and I moved my stop to break even here. Of course, in hindsight, I could have taken some profit, and that would have been nice. But I moved my stop to break even, so I didn't get a hit there. Now, we do potentially have a resistance level right here. So I am still interested in potentially looking for reversals. We'll see. Nothing yet on Kiwi dollar. Let's go to the euro pairs, euro Australian dollar. This keeps rallying, so nothing really. The ideal time would have been to buy here. But I haven't gotten a pullback yet, so not going to chase that. Euro Canada, same situation. So, price is running away. You know, that the timed entry would have been here. And I did get a bunch of those opportunities earlier in the month, but I'm still waiting for a pullback until one comes. Going to pass. Euro Swiss. Well, Euro Swiss is, oh, well, it fell below the range. Normally, Euro Swiss, I don't really look at Euro Swiss. I don't like to trade it. But it is very range bound. So the Swiss National Bank has said they are defending 120, this level here. So if price falls here, that could be a great buying signal. You know, you put on 120, you target 123 or something. That could be an interesting trade. And because it has such little volatility, you can have a pretty tight stop. You can take on a larger position and really control your risk exposure by your position size. Okay, so that's Euro Swiss, Euro Pound. Okay. Now Euro Pound, this is well, Euro Pound, I did it did just barely hit my stop here. So we'll see if it can go to, yeah, this level's fine. If it goes to 82.70, you know, I think I'd be interested in buying, or excuse me, shorting. Clear downtrend here, so question of what's a good sufficient rally? 82.70. I might be willing to try that. Until then, though, we're getting close, so that might be something for early next week to look at. Euro Yen. I have my entry order here on this one at that black line, still waiting. So let's actually look at this from a weekly chart, because that's sort of the way I'm thinking of Euro Yen. So in terms of time, it is going to take a little more time, and that's what you can see. It's been a couple candles, but I'm still waiting. If we can get a pullback to this level, I definitely would like to go long. So that's Euro Yen and Euro Kiwi. Okay. Euro Kiwi has fallen to this black line and it has bounced off it. Really? So we're seeing this price action defended. Now in terms of where, so I will go long Euro Kiwi. I'm not sure if it's going to get filled, but that's the issue. I think it's an issue more since I moved to the daily chart. But here's a 4-hour chart. So you had a big bullish candle here. Well, we'll come back to this. I probably will try going long Euro Kiwi. And we'll also take a look at Kiwi Swiss, which could have an interesting opportunity as well. Okay, so in any event, that's something one to watch. You know, and here's I've already mocked the trade up. You know, enter at 162.62, stop 61.64, target prop at 68.99, basically 69. That could be a really interesting trade. We'll see. We'll see. So something to consider. Euro Kiwi, Euro Dollar would be next. Okay. Huge day up in the euro, it looks like. At least on Euro Dollar. So, you know, nothing really for me to do here unless there's a pullback, until there's a pullback. So we're not really getting that. We're moving the opposite direction. It's clearly an uptrend. I'm waiting to buy the dip, so the dip has to occur first. Pound dollar, let's move to that one. Or pound currency pairs in general. Pound Aussie. Same situation, you know, uptrend, not getting a pullback. So we pass. Pound Canada. Wow, look at this. So it's really broken out of that channel, and if it can fall 500 pips, so pound Canada is really losing a lot of value here. it would be a great trade to be in on, and that's something else, I want to consider. What am I missing that didn't enable me to get in on that? I'll need to take a closer look at the Canadian dollar, because I didn't see this type of devaluation coming, um, technically or fundamentally. So I want to revisit that and see people who did trade that accurately. If you did trade it well, let us know. I would love to learn from that. Pound Swiss, this actually declined against the Swiss. Um, but no opportunity here, not until it falls to top or bottom of that price channel. Well, now it is actually. I wonder if. Well, one thing is we need to move this Fibonacci. Yeah, we need to target this high. Okay, so this line is actually an interesting confluence level. And I wonder if we could say, cite that. Okay. I'm not going to enter on a big down candle like this, although I do think this price action is interesting. And I was just, blindly thinking about that channel too much. But really, it isn't an uptrend. I'm confident. I'm a little more confident in this uptrend now. So there is buying, a dip in that uptrend is something that I'm interested in. Um, you could argue this is a support level here. Um, it's near a 61% Fibonacci retracement level. It's also very close to 200 exponential moving average. So let's see. I'm not going to enter on a candle like this. I do, for this type of trade, I definitely want to see the candlesticks confirm. So we'll see. Sometimes I end up missing out on trades that way because I'm waiting for too much confirmation. But that's fine. I still would prefer to see that. Pound yen. Well, this could be an interesting short. I'm thinking about it now. Yeah, see. Well, I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'll wait till I won't take this just yet, but I want to see how this actually plays out. Because I'm really expecting this to decline. It is a counter trend trade, which I generally do not do. Um, but I'm seeing if I can incorporate that in very select instances. Um, I won't do that just yet, but I'll wait to see how this plays out. Pound Kiwi. Okay, pound Kiwi. Yeah, no real opportunity. At least until it falls to that green line, I'm going to change that green line to black. Then maybe there's an opportunity to buy the dip. Especially if we're getting close. So if we get a couple more down days and it can intersect with this dashed blue line, I might find that really interesting. Um, so we'll see. Definitely something I'll be keeping an eye out for next week. Pound dollar. Okay. Um, this is interesting in that we have a reversal candlestick forming a lower high. So this is also a potentially a counter trend trade shaping up. I won't be taking it, but I'm keeping an eye out on counter trend trades. Let's see what it looks like on the weekly chart. Okay, it's still pretty range boundish. And this might be, let's see what it looks like on the monthly chart. Okay, ever since 2009, we're basically at the top of a range, going back to 2009. Okay, let's see the weekly. The reason I'm focusing a lot on this, or what's going through my head now, is so I mentioned that I would be one in terms of counter trend trading. I will go against a trend on a daily chart. So the daily chart's clearly up. Now I would be willing to short it if it's justified on the weekly chart. Now, to me, this is a little justified on the weekly chart because it looks range bound on a weekly chart, and we have a clear resistance level. Where would I put this? I put it right here probably. Um, right there. Okay. And that is 68.84 where I'd put that. Now let's go to the daily chart. Okay, yeah. So I think I'm going to try shorting this. My first counter trend trade. I mean, it's really justified. You know, I see the logic of shorting it um, on a weekly chart. What made me hesitate a little bit is that what made me hesitate a little more is that so on the weekly chart, I'm seeing it as, and let's go back to the daily chart, clearly an uptrend. On the weekly chart, um, I'm seeing it as a bit range bound, right? Now I'm thinking, you know, is that solid enough? But we're at the top of the range, so I think that does make sense. If it was more of a downtrend and this was a rally within a clear downtrend, I think that would make me feel much more comfortable, or that would be preferred. But I think this is legitimate in that it's a range-bound market, um, in an and we're at the top of the range. You have a logic to short that on the weekly chart. Um, and now in terms of the logic to short on the daily chart, we see reversal candlestick here. It seems like a lower high pattern forming, and um, and we're sort of at this resistance level also. So I see some signs. Let me see what it's like on a 4-hour chart. Yeah, see, this looks like it really could be the top. Hmm. Well, so the resistance level is here. Huh. We'll come back to this. I'm not sure. We'll come back to this at the end. Let's keep going. Still getting a little hung up on it. And that could be part of, you know, the growth needed as a trader, or maybe it's just not good enough, and I'm reaching. So we'll come back to that. Dollar Canada. This looks like it's set to. This also looks bearish, right? I mean, huge reversal candlestick here, right there. And this looks like a distribution. We have a pattern of lower highs forming. Um, let's see if we look at it on a weekly chart. See, this looks clearly bullish on a weekly chart, so it's hard to justify much for me here. Um, dollar yen. Okay, getting close. I still have my entry order here at 101.31, so 60 pips away. Let's see if we can get there. You know, I'm taking a weekly perspective on dollar yen and all the yen pairs. InformedTrades.com/Japan. I mention that all the time. But that sort of explains the fundamental opportunity in the yen. I think it's a great long-term setup. Um, Long-term opportunity shorting the yen. You know, Kyle Bass says dollar yen's going to 360. John Malden says at least 150. I tend to agree with those analyses. Um, it's going to fall significantly, in my opinion. Dollar Singapore, and I think that's going to be, you know, you have a small position and ride that all the way. I think you can make a nice trade that way. Okay. Dollar Singapore. Yeah, let's see if it falls at least to support. Nothing I can do really until it falls to this at least this black line. I missed one error I made was I should have entered here, but we live and learn. I definitely should have. I got thrown off by seeing these converging blue lines, um, but still it would have made sense from a risk-reward perspective, from a pullback. We had support here, so there was a lot of evidence to enter. I just didn't take it. But that's life. Live and learn. So that's dollar Singapore. Now we are going to the Australian dollar pairs. Okay. Australia and Canada. Silly for that to fall to the bottom of the price channel. Nothing to do otherwise. Aussie Yen. Yeah, we looked at this. I'm in this short trade, so let's see if price can fall below here. If it can, then I'll look to move my stop to break even. Part of me thinks I should move it now already. I'm seeing these wick patterns, which is a little scary, but in this instance, I think it's a sign that the bears are pushing the market further down. Because we're closer. You know, when you see a candle with a long wick like this, it's I think it's called a shooting star. But you know, we're close to the uptrend, so prices really rallied, and now we're starting to see these wicks. So I think that's bears dragging the market down. I don't think that's so much bulls propping it up. And I think this is going to encourage more bears to come in. We'll see though. So that's Aussie Yen, Aussie Swiss. I don't. Do we? Oh yeah, okay. Well, Euro Kiwi is the one I'm looking at. So we'll look at Kiwi Swiss, but Aussie Swiss nothing here. Yeah. So I had a bunch of short orders on the Australian dollar. They didn't get filled, except for Aussie Yen. Aussie dollar, that did not get filled either. Just barely missed it. Wow. And that's been a challenge for me. A bunch of orders not getting filled, but that's and here's another one, Aussie Kiwi. So haven't with the Australian dollar, I've had a bunch of very close near fills, and then it goes on. That's trading and why it can be mentally frustrating and exhausting. But that also helps build discipline. It helps you stay strong. I really appreciate trading, not just obviously for the financial gains it can afford, but also as a way of strengthening your mind. It's not easy. It's psychologically challenging. You have to stay focused. You have to be mentally vigilant and disciplined to really succeed over the long term. And I appreciate trading for that. Okay. So we looked at all the Australian dollar pairs. Basically, the story with the Australian dollar is a bunch of downtrends that I missed out on, or almost got filled down but didn't. But so we live and learn. I think in general, if I move my stop or my entry a few pips tighter, a little less strict, because I've had this. I think I'm just by a few pips. In general, I'm being a little too insistent. So if I tone it down just a little bit, give myself require 5 pips less of a pullback, I think I'll start getting filled, and I think it'll go in my favor without the stop getting hit. So that's sort of the conclusion I've come to after having all these trades almost get filled but not. And I missed out on, I guess I'd be up probably a few more percentage points if those orders had gotten filled. Kiwi Canada, nothing to do here. It's running away. Let's see if we can pull back to 92.11. Kiwi Swiss. Now I'm really interested in this pair. Okay. Euro Kiwi, I'm looking to go long. So Kiwi Swiss, is there a short opportunity setting up? It's not. I still find this to be more of a range bound than a clear downtrend. Let's see what it's like on the weekly chart. Okay, on a weekly chart, this is a little more bearish in my opinion. You can see the moving average clearly sloped down, but it's still not. It's not the most bearish. Let's go back to the daily chart. Um, hmm. You might find this level. No. Excuse me. So that'd be a resistance level of sorts. But I don't like this setup very much. I'm going to stick with Euro Kiwi because you also have this. I'm drawing too many lines here. Um, you also have this pattern here. Right, so basically a pattern of lower highs or higher lows, excuse me. It's not the clearest. This price action is very choppy, so I'm going to stay away from Kiwi Swiss. We'll come back to Euro Kiwi. That was one of the pairs to look at. Kiwi Yen. Okay, Kiwi Yen. Um, and that is nothing really here. Let's see if we can pull back. Same as dollar yen and euro yen. So not really doing anything here. And Kiwi dollar. Okay. Kiwi dollar, I'll be keeping an eye out for because I had identified this black line as a level to enter at before. So we'll see how. Let's see how the candlesticks react. We could be at the top of a range, could be worth shorting. We will see. Especially because I'm interested in going long Euro Kiwi, so that could be something which would suggest a bearish move in Kiwi, and if we're seeing a bearish move in Kiwi dollar too, or that leads me to think that it's possible that because if we're seeing Kiwi weakness on the euro, maybe we're going to see it on the dollar too. Okay. This is a much clearer chart. Now, the question is, will I actually get filled at 62.62? I will try. I'm putting this trade on, and I'll have this post on my blog on InformedTrades. Enter at 62.62, stop at 61.64, so risking 98 pips. Target profit 68.99. Let's see if that ends up getting filled. And the other trade, I want to go back to the pound dollar. Okay. Now, am I seeing enough short signs here? So we have a resistance level at 166.84. So let me see, actually, I am potentially interested in shorting this, but let me see the candles a little more. In particular, let's see how this candle closes. And let's look at the 4-hour chart. It's not the price action out of the candles. If I'm trading counter trend, which I'm always a little reluctant to do, I really want the candlesticks to give me nice. I want to see distribution, which I'm not really seeing a clear trading range here, like tight distribution, where it's in a very narrow trading range and then it falls off. I'm not really seeing that here. We've been falling here. It's not really in a tight range. We did bounce back here, and that is interesting because we have a pattern of lower highs, which is very encouraging, and we have this long wick, which is also encouraging. But when I look at it on the 4-hour chart, that long wick doesn't seem to be that meaningful. I was hoping this looks, the body is still, the wicks on both sides, so it still reflects more indecision rather than bears forcefully stepping in and pushing price down. So to me, the evidence isn't clear that this is a downtrend. From a candlestick perspective, it's not clear that this is a downtrend, that the bears are really stepping in, or if it's a breakout above this level and bulls are stepping in, or there's a little indecision, the markets are fighting. That's why this candle here is pretty significant. If it was more like this candle, or if it was more like this candle, I would be more confident in it. And again, like I mentioned, you want to be confident in the trades you put on. So if they don't meet your criteria, skip. That's all there is to it. I don't always place a lot of trades. Some people trade for the thrill of it. I'm trying to trade to succeed. So that's definitely something to consider. So anyway, I am placing one order today, Euro Kiwi. I'll have this up on my blog on InformedTrades for the specifics. You can also see it, of course, on the chart right there. That's about it. This is end of the month, February. February was a good month for me, up 2%. I'll have a little video recapping that, hopefully posted this weekend. Any questions you have, anything you want to add, join us at InformedTrades.com. Learning community there, lots of free material, all to help you learn to trade. Check it out, join, participate in our community. Best of luck in your trading. Take care.